This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 203, Why Buffering is Crucial to Your Finances, by Kristin Wong of the wildwong.com. And I am Dan, your host and narrator here on Optimal Finance Daily. I'm here 5 days a week, bringing you some of the best personal finance blogs on the planet in audio form. And I'm going to keep our intro nice and minimal for you today, so let's get right to the post as we optimize your life. Why Buffering is Crucial to Your Finances, by Kristin Wong of the wildwong.com. For a long time, I've had a terrible habit. I'm always late. Yes, I'm that jerk that keeps you waiting until 7:15, even though we agreed to meet promptly at 7. I'm that person who says, I'll be there in 5 minutes, and then 10 minutes later, you wonder where the hell I am. Trust me, I know it's selfish, which is why I vowed to change my ways. The root of the problem was I consistently underestimated how much time it would take me to get from point A to point B. To be fair, I live in Los Angeles where parking is questionable. Depending on the location, sometimes you'll have no trouble at all, and sometimes it's a nightmare. The solution was simple. I buffered 15 minutes into my travel time. I now sometimes show up 5 to 10 minutes early, but hey, at least I'm on time. My husband puts it like this: if you're not 10 minutes early, you're late. The point is, a little buffering can completely change your habits, especially when it comes to money. Buffering and your money. Buffering is a useful tool when it comes to taking control of your finances. My parents used to tell me, for example, to make $1,000 my new zero. I think they may have read this in a Dave Ramsey book, but the advice is solid nonetheless. Let's say I need a 50,000-mile checkup on my car and maintenance costs a lot more than expected. Without a buffer, this could destroy my bank account. Maybe I have no idea how to pay for it, so I put it on a credit card that I can't pay off next month. Bad move. Maybe I drain my checking account to pay for it, then I'm not able to pay my rent next month. Also a bad move. A $1,000 cushion would serve as a buffer against overdraft fees or desperate solutions. Again, a little buffering can completely change your habits. How to build financial buffering. Saving $1,000 may be easier said than done, but then so is most financial advice. The point isn't just to save $1,000 though. It's a mindset shift. That cushion helps you err on the side of caution, which gives you a crucial sense of control. Here are a few other ways to add buffering to your finances. Budget more than you spend. One of the biggest budget mistakes people make is underestimating their spending. When you budget, overestimate your spending in each category. Round up. When it comes to your income, round down. Don't count on overtime or bonuses if they're iffy. Create an everything else category. For a long time, I consistently blew my budget because something would come up every month. My cat's vet bill, a friend's birthday weekend. These expenses, I told myself, were unexpected. Next month would be different. Here's the thing though, if stuff comes up every month, it's not an unexpected expense. Stop being surprised by it and include a category in your budget for these expenses. Debt payoff goals. One of the worst mistakes I made with my debt payoff was trying to pay it off too soon. I wanted to pay it off as soon as possible, so I cut all of my expenses to the bone. It backfired. I'd spend a wee bit too much on something and completely destroy my budget and my progress. My goal was commendable, but it was also unrealistic. Instead of trying to rush my debt goal, I divided the goal up into smaller milestones and focused on what I could save every week or every month. I also overestimated my spending, which served as a buffer in my budget. So when I could afford to throw more at my debt payoff, it felt awesome. Of course, an emergency fund is a classic example of a financial buffer because it buffers against potential setbacks. The beauty of a buffer is that it doesn't matter whether you use it or not. It does its job simply by existing. If I leave 15 minutes early only to find a parking spot immediately and get to my destination early, there's no harm in that. Okay, maybe you putz around for a few minutes, but in the bigger picture, you're in control of your time. You no longer rush frantically because you're late. And the same goes for your money. If you spend less than you plan and have cash left over, there's no harm in that. You can throw it at your goals. Without that buffer, though, your finances are vulnerable. To put it in really simple terms, a little buffering keeps you in the driver's seat when shit happens. And shit always happens. You just listened to the post titled Why Buffering is Crucial to Your Finances by Kristin Wong of the wildwong.com. Really interesting stuff there, I thought. And if you're enjoying the show and want to help keep this going for as long as possible, there are all sorts of things you can do, both big and small, that will make a huge impact. Now, we put together a list over at oldpodcast.com. You can just look for the How to Help page, or you can go directly to oldpodcast.com/support, and we really appreciate it. So tomorrow we'll, of course, be back with a guest post on Money Mini Blog. So stay tuned for that tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this podcast, but also Optimal Living Daily, the show where I read to you from even more blogs covering finance, productivity, minimalism, personal development, and more from incredible bloggers like Derek Sivers, Zen Habits, Mark and Angel, The Minimalists, and all the ones you hear on this show too. So if you enjoyed today's episode and like taking amazing blogs on the go, come on over to Optimal Living Daily and subscribe to that one too. And together, we'll start optimizing your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Finance Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode, and head to oldpodcast.com, that's OLDpodcast.com, for a free gift as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.